again. So we are managing a hybrid project that combines predictive and agile approaches, and the
Mm.
project includes some complex dependencies between the tasks, just like a predictive environment. But I want to integrate Kanban board for its adaptability. Now, what is the key consideration when we handle tasks with complex dependencies under this hybrid situation that we are in? Okay, we have four options. First, we should avoid using Kanban as it does not handle dependencies very well. Second, prioritize the tasks based on urgency, regardless of dependencies. Third, implement a strict sequential work order. Fourth, break down the tasks into smaller, independent units to fit within the Kanban. Okay, what is the wild guess that you can take out of the four options?
For me, I think you should break down the tasks into smaller, independent units to fit the Kanban model.
Okay, now um, let's review your option that you selected. You selected the option 4. You think that when we break down the tasks into smaller, more manageable items, we can fit those items on the Kanban model, right?
Right.
Uh, we need to focus in the question, we need to focus on the very important part of the question, which is um, the exact question that what is the key consideration for handling tasks with complex dependencies under this hybrid model. And when we apply Kanban board, okay, will Kanban board be helping us to manage complex dependencies? So in the question, there is a challenge that we are in a hybrid environment. A hybrid environment is that environment which combines few practices from the predictive approaches and few practices they acquire from the agile. So it's like a mixed environment that we are still traditional and we are following agile bits and pieces. Okay.
Mm.
Now, in that scenario, don't know, someone suggested you or you yourself want to bring in Kanban board. Now, Kanban board is for the workflow management. So you will have few tasks waiting for, in a bucket called not started. And then in another bucket, there will be tasks which are already started. You call them in progress. Then there will be a bucket called the tasks that are done or maybe marked for review. And then there will be a bucket which are tested and done. So you will have four buckets, one bucket of not started, one bucket of in progress, one bucket of review, and one bucket of done. And it's for visualization. Okay. So you will have a Kanban board like this. Now, how does Kanban board help you in managing complex dependencies? Your answer is four. Your answer says cut a big task into small pieces, and this will help us to manage the dependencies. I say no. This will help us to digest. If you ask me to uh, take a big piece of bread and eat it at once, it will be very difficult for me, right?
Yes.
But if I break it down into smaller bites, I can take it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But here the problem is not that we have a big chunk of uh, a huge workload and we just simply can't take it in a one activity or one action. We need to break it down this big chunk of work and then we can assign it to many people. This is not the problem. The problem is each task has dependency on another task and we are really uh, struggling with those dependencies. These are complex dependencies. Maybe one task is dependent on more than one tasks, right? So
Mm.
uh, how does Kanban board help us in knowing the dependencies between the tasks? I believe if you were to say that network diagram, uh, make a network diagram. It will have tasks, dependencies clearly highlighted, that this task comes after this task and this task comes after this task. Two are in parallel, one is in series. So network diagram can show us the dependencies between the tasks. Okay. However, if I help you with this, so look, this is your Kanban board. Okay. It's
Okay.
just a visual representation of the things which are needed to be actioned. Let's say your items are here, which need to be worked on. Your some items are here, which are in progress. Your some items are here, which are already done. And your some items are here, which are done. I mean, these are marked for review. Let's say these are marked done, tested. These are in progress, and these are not started. Okay. So
Mm,
this is you, these are the swim lanes, okay? Not started, in progress, review, and done. Okay, so this is your Kanban board. Okay, and you
mm,
have various tasks which are in various lanes, okay, which need to be worked on. Okay, then look at the network diagram. The network diagram is like this. You have task A, and then you have task B, and then you have task C, and then you have task. Let's say this is the start of the project. Okay, you started the project with the task A, then you went to task B, and then C, and then D. Can you finish the project without finishing the task B or task
no.
A? No, right? You have
Mm,
to finish first A, then you have to finish B, and then you can finish C. So a network diagram is there to help you know the sequence of the activities and the dependencies of the activities in a better visual way. Whereas
so
Kanban board cannot do so, right?
yes. So if I understand you very well from your explanation, is a Kanban mode, and then so from the answers, I that means that is C from your explanation, from the way I'm looking at it.
For my explanation, the answer will be
C. Yes.
uh, C. The problem is that task dependencies are various complex dependencies. For example, you may have a situation that A will be also uh, uh, there will be a task E which will be dependent on let's say A. Okay,
Mm, mm,
you may have task B also depending on finishing of task E. So
mm,
complex mean then there is another F. Okay,
mm.
so then this is also dependent that project will not finish until F is not done. So complex mean there could be many more here, G. Okay,
Mm, mm,
so it is not strictly sequential order that that can help us here. The point here is that how does Kanban board help us? We want to say that Kanban board is not going to help us because it is just the flow of work from not done to done. It can only let us visualize the order of the work. You know, the
yes.
work moves from here till here until it is done. And we can
Yes.
visualize, okay, this is in progress, this is not started, this is under review, this user story is done. So we can quickly see where is the work currently in the flow, in the process, right? Whereas
Mm,
network diagram can really show us the dependencies between the tasks, no matter tasks are in parallel or in sequence. So this will also not be an answer. You got my point, right? And you got my point here as well. That is not a matter of big chunk of work that need to be uh, split into various, decomposed into various smaller activities. It's not only the sequential problem. Uh, it's okay. Let's look at the answer now. Now, what would be your answer with this explanation?
mm. So it will be A.
A. I will go with your answer. True. Avoid using Kanban as it does not handle dependencies very well. Yes, you're right. And let's look at the option B, prioritize tasks based on the urgency regardless of the dependency. This is also not the good way forward. We can simply cut straight away reject it because we always have some dependencies that we need to take care of, right? So you are right. Now this time you are right. And we learned today two things. Uh, a good tool to help us know the dependencies between the tasks is network diagram. Not even network diagram. We can also visualize the dependencies on a Gantt chart. Okay, but
Mm.
better than Gantt chart, network diagram helps us to visualize the dependencies. Okay, however, Kanban board can help us to visualize the work in progress. However, it cannot help us to um, visually understand the dependencies between various tasks. Okay,
Okay. Team Valerie is here.
Valerie is not here. I think he is trying to connect.
He's here. He's connected.
Valerie, are you here?
Hey, he left again.
That's what I'm telling you. All right, let's move to the other question. It's not easy for him to quickly understand when we are moving to the next. Oh, okay. Let's move to the next question. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, sir.
Good, 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 good. For you, I will quickly repeat this question, okay? Look, we have
Okay, sir.
a project which is hybrid project. In the hybrid project, we are a predictive company. We deal with predictive software development lifecycle. Now we are moving to an agile methods. Okay, so let's say we have adopted some of the agile methods also. Okay, so it is called hybrid company. Okay, that is at the same time using a predictive and the agile methods. Now in this scenario, you thought of to bring in Kanban board, okay, in your team. Now, the problem that you are facing is that you have very challenging tasks which have challenging dependencies between them. So now, the question is, what is the key consideration for handling tasks with complex dependencies under this hybrid model? Okay, you will have four options. You have four options. One is that you should not use Kanban board as it does not handle dependencies very well. Second is that prioritize the tasks based on the urgency rather than the dependencies between each other. Then we have third suggestion that implement a strict sequential work order to handle with the complex dependencies. And the fourth is break down these tasks into smaller, more manageable units of work to fit into the Kanban model. Valerie is gone. I think we should move on because other people are watching and he's coming and going.
I
Okay.
can see him. Maybe his network is his
Yeah,
his connection is not okay.
no problem.
Yeah, my network, Wi-Fi
No
is.
problem. No problem. Just to summarize the previous question, Valerie, the Kanban board is not a good tool to handle the dependencies between various tasks. If we have got challenging tasks with challenging dependencies between each other, the better options would be, which are not actually in the question, but the better options would be that we draw a network diagram. And that network diagram is where we can visualize the dependencies between the tasks in much better way, even more better than the Gantt chart view. Okay, now for this particular question, the answer is answer A. Okay, this is what uh, we understood. Now, question two. In the same, sorry, in an agile environment where the scope evolves with every iteration, How should work requests be prioritized to effectively manage the dynamic nature of the project? Now, when you are constantly dealing with the change, then how would you deal with the priority of the tasks? Okay, because the environment is constantly changing and dealing with the priorities will also be very challenging for you, right? Just like the way you handled the previous question, that you were facing a challenge of dependencies, complex dependencies between the tasks. Now your challenge is that with the constantly changing environment and change requests coming in, how would you handle the priorities of the tasks? Now, consider that you have already implemented the Kanban board, for example, which is
Mm.
actually not mentioned in this question, but consider that you already have a Kanban board in place. Now, team members pull work from the queue as they complete the tasks. So this is one of the option. Second is by following a preset list of determined uh, items at the start of the project, or the project manager assigns you the tasks, or tasks are randomly assigned to prevent bias. Now, uh,
The answer is number one.
Valerie is right. Abel,
Yeah.
what was your thinking?
I'm thinking of one.
Yeah, Valerie is right. Abel, what was your first guess? Abel?
Yes, sir. I was thinking something similar, but my mind was going to one, and then two.
No problem. I'll let you know. Look, when it comes to agile, always remember it's the work is not assigned or directed. This is purely predictive method that a project manager will come and tell you what to do. What to do. No,
Mm.
in agile, this is anti-agile. That I direct people to what to do. I direct people, give them the task, assign them the task. Okay, you need to do this. You need to do this. No, no. In agile, remember we said that we have self-organized and self-motivated teams which organize themselves around the world. These are
Mm,
the qualities of the agile teams. Okay, now let's say we have a bulk of work in the to-do list, and this is a team assignment, and we are here as a team. We have a sprint and we have a sprint backlog. We need to finish it. Now, what
Mm.
we'll be doing, everyone will go to the sprint backlog, look for the item that he can work on. If he is a backend developer, he will pick up the backend task. If he is a front-end developer, depending on their skill set, right? They will pick up the work and they will pick up the user story and they will start working on the story. Now, so this is how each team member come and take work which he can finish and commit, and he will come back again when he will be done with that item. So this is how the work flows from not done to in progress, from in progress to review, from review to done. Okay, the team members pull the work from the queue as and when they complete each tasks, right? So now the question was, in an agile environment where the scope is evolving, how should work requests be prioritized to effectively manage the dynamic nature of the project? Shall we create a pre-set list of items from the inception, from the start of the project, and then run each iteration as per the plan? No, this happens only in predictive, that we plan for the full, let's say 10, 15, or 8, 10 sprints. We plan for full phase of the project or full project in the beginning. This is not the scenario because we know things going to change. Tasks will be replaced with the other tasks, right? It cannot happen.
mm,
So, and neither we as project managers come and dictate. So option B is gone, option C is gone, and tasks are not randomly assigned, right? So what we do, in fact, we do one sprint planning
mm,
ahead of the sprint start. Ahead of iteration, start of the iteration, we do some sprint planning. And in that sprint planning, we decide what will go into the sprint backlog. You remember when I draw this in my Kanban board, when I draw the items not started, I said that there is a swim lane which is called items not started. There is a swim lane which is called items in progress. And there is a swim lane called items in review. And there is a swim lane which is called items marked as done. So I meant to say that with the start of the sprint, I will have a sprint planning meeting and I will decide what will go here, which user stories will go here on the day one of the sprint. So if this is day one of the sprint, okay, I have all the items decided based on the priority basis. I have decided my sprint backlog, and this is my sprint backlog. Okay, this whole is my sprint backlog. Now, work will move day by day from here to here with the help of my team, from here to here with the help of my team, from here to here. Now, at the day 14, let's say, all of the work should have moved from here till here. I'm giving you the flow of work. You get my point, guys,
Yes, sir.
right? Now, this is how, but the priority is decided in sprint planning meeting that these items which are going to be worked on in the iteration one, which we are going to start now, and we will be assigning it to the sprint backlog. So this is same as this. Okay, so we decide the priority and we create the priority list for the sprint. We add it into the sprint backlog. We call it sprint backlog. And then we may have a product backlog, which has many more items, but they were not priority items. Why we picked up these items? Because these were priority items. That's why these came here. And now we have started to work on these items. And then gradually we are going to move these items during the sprint. We will be moving them to in progress, then to review, then to done. And on the last day of the sprint, we should have everything here. There will be a spillover, but we'll not talk about the spillover now. All right, guys. So you got this idea, right?
Yes, Brigadier.
So team pulls the work from the queue as they complete a task. And we talked about two qualities of the team. One is they are self-organized, and the other is that they are self-motivated. They organize themselves around the work. And remember, in Agile, we do not micromanage, we do not do work assignments. We do not do work assignments, we do not dictate the work. Okay. And then if you ask me a question, your question should be that it is somehow dictation of the work which we prioritized here and we added in the sprint backlog, right? This question comes in our mind, right?
Right.
Right. But I tell you one more thing: the team, along with the product owner, team mean the development team and the scrum master and the product owner, all of them look at the product backlog. Okay. And depending on the items which are valuable from the product backlog, this is sorted. Okay. And then this priority items are shared by the product owner with the team and the scrum master. And scrum master and the team look at these, let's say 20 items in the sprint backlog, and they say, depending on our team velocity, depending on our team capacity, we can only take 10 of these and put here. So my team decided that from this 20 items, we are going to add only 10 here, because this is my commitment, my team commitment, that during the next 14 days, we can realistically deliver these 10 items, not the whole 20 items which are prioritized by the product owner for us. So you got, the team is empowered as well. Now, what is the second quality of the team? Depending on their speed, their velocity, their capacity, They are empowered to commit to the work which they can realistically deliver. Got it, Akbar?
Yes,
Yes, so
sir.
got it.
Okay, Valery is on and off, but I hope he will get the recording. So let's move on. Okay. How does employing a time box approach in Agile delivers business value? Hmm. So in the last explanation of the last question, I gave you some idea about as iteration is of 14 days. Right? And I said that we will do various iterations, but let's say for first iteration, we mentioned that it is for 14 days. Okay, so consider that in your mind. So how do we deliver the value within these 14 days? We call it time boxing, right? We time box ourselves that within the next 14 days, we are going to analyze the user stories, design the user stories, develop the user stories, and and finish those stories for review with the customer and finish some working feature or working software, right? Or we will deliver the sprint goal. So now, how do we do that? By either by delivering business value early and incremental, or by delivering all business value at the project conclusion, okay, or through sporadic increments whenever possible, or only after all user stories are completed. Now, remember, uh, Agile, we say our first and the foremost priority is to deliver business value through working software. And we do it more frequently. We do it more frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what do you think? What is your wild guess, guys?
Number one.
Hmm.
By delivering business value early and incremental.
Yeah, option number A.
Yeah. Yeah. Our agile principle says that that we our number one priority is the delivery of the value to the customer early and frequently. So this option aligns well with our agile principle. So we do not wait till the project completion. We do not wait till the user stories completion. We do is that we ensure that we deliver the value frequently and as early as possible. And that's why we time box ourselves, right? So the idea of time boxing ourselves in smaller sprints of 2 weeks is that customers should not wait for months to see some working software. If something can be worked on quickly, we show it to the customer after 2 weeks. And then we take another set of requirements and work on those set of requirements and deliver to the customer. So you guys are right. Let's move on. So for every once, so the answer is A. All right. In an agile project which uses Scrum framework, a time box iteration is employed with sprints lasting for 2 weeks. Now, how often are the changes typically allowed to be incorporated into the project? Okay, so you have a project and you have an iteration in a project. So the question is how often you allow change in agile. Do you welcome change at any point in time? Do you welcome only in the beginning of the project? Do you welcome every time when you are starting the sprint only? Or you allow the changes, or changes are not allowed once a sprint has started. What's your why guess, guys? Okay.
A.
Before the start of a spring only.
Okay, so
Mm,
your point is that don't bother me when I started the sprint.
I go for option number A.
Yes, I go for number A at any point during the project.
I agree with you guys actually, and this aligns with our principle of welcome change, right? We welcome change in agile, at even if it is late in the development. We already have developed a lot of stuff, and then we cannot scream at you, why change at this time? No, no, this is anti-agile. Agile change is welcome at any point in time. But the good thing is how we deal with it is that since we did not plan the resources for 6 months or for 2 months or for a month, we plan the resources for 2 weeks only. That's why we don't worry. We can change it at any point in time theoretically. Practically as well, we can accept change during the sprint if it has already started. We can, uh, but it always happens when the client means the product owner, he negotiates with the scrum master, and there is a swap of the stories. Like the work cannot be added against the capacity of the sprint, because the capacity, remember, I told you that in the last example that 10 points, if I can take in, I took 10 points. But now if something has to be changed, then there will be a swap. Like something will be removed and then it will be replaced by something important. You got to know this. Did you guys understand this technicality that once sprint has started, change can happen by consultation between product owner and scrum master. However, some of the stories from this current sprint has to be replaced by some of the stories which are not part of the sprint. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
Akbar, okay?
Okay.
Can you just repeat the last two lines?
Yeah, I said that let's say why this option is incorrect, right? I said there is one condition when this option makes some sense, because my team has a capacity. Okay, so if I committed that I will be completing 10 story points in this sprint. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you bring in two additional story points for the current sprint, you bring in some user story, which actually increases my sprint like it's beyond my sprint capacity. Okay, now I have two more story points, right? So what I need to do, I can only exchange with you. I need to drop off some story points to accommodate it, right? So if I initially committed with some user stories, 5 user stories of 2 points each, and you brought in one user story which is let's say 4 points. So I need to drop two stories of you know, 2 points each to accommodate your story of 4 points. So my point is change is welcome, but in how I can accommodate in the running sprint is that I need to exchange with you something which has not started, and the same story points I need to exchange with you with the incoming story points. So I will take need to drop a few stories to make place for the new stories. You got it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, guys. Now next.
So considering this question 4,
Yeah,
which will be the right answer actually?
come again.
For the question 4, which will be the right answer?
Right answer is A, at any point during the project.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, change is welcome at any point.
Hmm.
Okay, so remember our project, the hybrid project. there was a hybrid project where I said that we are still following predictive approaches and we are moving towards agile. Now, in the same hybrid project, how does implementing Kanban affects the workload among the team members? Okay, so the
I
question,
want to quickly ask a question.
yeah,
Yeah, in a predictive approach, there is a change process. I'm just trying to reflect from the previous. So there is a
yeah.
change process. So what I want to understand here is in agile, if you want to make change, do you go through the same process, change office and so on before the change is implemented?
In predictive, we have a change process where if the change comes, we need to analyze the impact of the change on our cost, schedule, and scope baseline. And then we need to present it to the change control board, our analysis. If the sponsor and the change control board accepts our analysis, they approve more time to incorporate the change, and when they approve more budget to incorporate the change, we incorporate the change. And if they reject to improve, I mean, incorporate the change, or they reject to increase the budget or increase the timeline, then we reject the change request and we put it in the change log. Now, your question is that if it is predictive, yes, we will follow a definite change control board and strict change control process.
Meaning in agile, change process is not the same with okay.
There is
Okay.
no strict follow. There is nothing called change request form and change control board. It's everything is so dynamic. You will um, you will discuss. You will call for a quick meeting. You will discuss. You will agree which stories need to be swapped with which stories in the ongoing running sprint. We discourage this to this interruption of ongoing sprint, but we allow it. It's something which is fine. But by the way, we can also sometimes politely decline it and say that now the sprint is in rhythm, and the next sprint is going to start next week. So let's keep it in the prioritized backlog, and we can work on any changes. Because remember, the product backlog is always changeable. We can always put the things up and down. It's only the work within the sprint backlog which is currently being worked on, and then it has to be negotiated with some, trade-offs. But product backlog is always open to change. Put the first item at the 20 position and 20 item at the first position. We don't mind anytime because we haven't planned the resources for it. We didn't start it, right? Got it?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Now you are managing. I think we didn't touch this well. This question. In a same hybrid project, how does implementing Kanban affects workload among team members? Tell me, guys.
Can you just give a small brief like how this Kanban
Okay.
works?
Now the Kanban board is just for our understanding. We have various swim lanes, and let's say we started the sprint with various items which are not started. Okay. And let's say tomorrow it will be not the case. Many items will be in progress by the team. And some of the items day after tomorrow, let's say, will be marked under review. And some items will be marked done after the testing. So we have various swim lanes. So let's say day zero of the sprint, everything is here. All the user stories are here. And then the team, let's say from the front end development team or the back end development team, will come, organize themselves, pick up the items that they need to work on the next day. And tomorrow, if you see, you will see various items are in progress. Day after tomorrow, you will find some progress items are marked for review. Day after, the 3 days later, you will find some items are also marked as done. This is how we move the work from here till here. So the Kanban board is visual representation of the work in progress during the sprint. It allows us to see where the work is right now and where we need to push it. If most of the items are in progress, we can push the items from progress to review and then progress. If more items are in the review, we can push the items from review to done. The basic idea is we should be, the work should flow from the stages. It should not get stuck at one point. That's the Kanban board. Got it, Akbar?
The answer
Yes,
is
sir.
fun.
I think the question was from Akbar, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
If I'm driving, so I'll just take a look in
No
video
problem.
as
No problem. No problem. Anytime we can ask. Now, what is the your answer for this question, guys?
So my suggestion for this answer for this question will be ensure a consistent level of work for all team members.
I second that also.
Yes, yes. Correct. And this happens because no one assigns me the work. I go and I pick the work for today, right? I go to the uh, not started items and I see today I have capacity. I can bring in more stories to work on. So everyone has consistent level of work, um, considering ideal environment. Okay. Now you will not have someone part of the sprint but not doing anything. It's against the team spirit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody will always have something in their plate to be worked on or to complete. There could be some challenges because of which some stories will take different time than other stories. So we cannot in the end say that, let's say a developer who has finished 3 stories is doing better than a developer who has finished 1 story in the whole sprint. No, because everything is relative, I mean, related, but different level of complexity for each one, right? Every one of us has different skill level. Every one of us take their time as per their skill level. So there is no race or competition that a person who finishes 10 story point or 5 user stories is better than a person who finishes 2 user story points or 1 user story. But in the end, we just need to make sure the sprint goal is achieved. Like everyone, not individual goals, but overall, what we committed to deliver as a feature, we delivered. You got the point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer
Yes.
is A. The answer is A. Now you guys know that from various questions, the answer is always A. Sorry, 6 was the same as 5.
What happened with my Zoom? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Larry.
But on my screen, I'm seeing only Zoom. No.
Let me reshare, stop sharing and share again. Okay, is it okay, Bill?
No, I'm not
Yes,
seeing. It's clear with you, Albert. You can see
yes, I can see Valerie.
my screen is just showing the Zoom. Very big Zoom like that.
I think you should go to YouTube, Abel, Valeri. Watch us there. We will be, we are already live.
But
You
will
will
I be
not
able
miss
to
it.
make contribution from there?
You stay here, you contribute in the chat, but you can watch there. Your screen will be visible there.
Valerie, or you can log out and then log in again.
Okay, it's okay now. It's okay now.
It's okay now? All right. Now,
Mhm.
as the project manager, you are tasked with conducting a competitive analysis to identify market trends and potential opportunities for product differentiation. Okay. So, how would you leverage this analysis to inform product roadmap and stay ahead of the competition in the market? So, the question is just you have to analyze what competitors are doing and how you look at your product roadmap, what features you have planned for the next releases, and you always think, am I competitive? What I am launching, is it will it survive? Will it add value for our company because competition is high? What we are bringing to market, will it beat the competition or not? Like the question is like that. So how would you leverage this analysis to inform the product roadmap and stay ahead of the competition? Ensure the product features to surpass the competition, offering and attract more customers. A. Lower the price to match the competitor offer and maintain market share. Ignore the competitive analysis and focus on executing the project plan as originally outlined. Collaborate with the competitors to explore partnership opportunities and sharing the resources. If I were to use the elimination technique, I would eliminate our option. Which option I would eliminate? Tell me, guys.
Elimination option, I will start with
Option
D.
C.
Okay. And what else? Another option?
And B.
B or D?
I will start from down and I will eliminate all the three.
You will eliminate all three, and the A is the answer.
Yeah.
Because you know A is always the answer, huh?
I'll eliminate B and C, but lower the price of the product also works sometimes, but I'll go with A.
Hmm.
The thing is, lower the price works for some time to match the competitor and make market. Uh, y- y- yeah, but for the same price, competitor would be offering better features, right? So if you
Mm.
lower and match the competitor offering, but your roadmap has A, B, and C, and competitor roadmap for the product that competitor had launched, maybe you are launching together at the same time, but they have A, B, C, and D as well.
Mm.
So although your price will be same, but you will be offering less than them.
Mm.
So price is not the deciding factor at that moment when your features are less, right?
Hmm.
So you need to enhance, continuously update your product features in the roadmap to be ahead of the competition, and that's what we say the that we are agile because we take input from the marketing department, what's happening in the market, and then we continuously enhance what should go in our products, and then we continuously enhance our backlogs, our roadmaps, and the backlogs and the sprint log backlogs, and then the product increments. You see the cycle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happens in fact is marketing department marketing department will give the input to product department, and product department will enhance their product roadmap, okay, with more features. These features will
Somebody left.
uh, part of the product backlog, and then these will become part of the sprint backlog, and then ultimately these will become part of the increment which we are releasing. So you see this movement of work. Marketing department gave input to product department. They updated their roadmap. That roadmap was the user stories were created and made part of the sprint backlog or product backlog. And then during the sprint planning, these went to the sprint backlog, and those were executed in the sprint and developed and became part of the increment, which actually is a release that we are releasing to the market. Got it?
Sure, got it.
So here's the answer, as always. Cool. Next. You guys can read yourself. Let me know. What do you think? What do you say? Why there is so much quiet? During a sprint planning meeting, two members have a disagreement about the best approach to implement a new feature.
I
How
have
would you
A
facilitate?
as the answer.
What is the answer?
Yeah, facilitate a discussion to understand the advantage and disadvantage of each approach and work towards a compromised decision. Yeah.
Compromise. I always, you are right. Answer is A, but there is it is better option than the other options. Look at the option number D. Let's say
D,
assign
voila,
the
let me repeat the second.
assign the decision to product owner to avoid delays in the sprint. It will not solve the problem, right, between two members. You until you address the issues. C is conduct a voting among the team member to decide the approach. This is also not going to be an effective method.
That
It
would be
can
for a
still,
lazy
root
project
cause will
manager.
still remains, okay, right? Abel?
Yes, right.
Mm.
And encourage the members to continue debating until they reach a consensus. Now, this is sometimes important, by the way, but it takes time because when the decision is not reached, we can still debate and we can reach to a consensus, which is lengthy process, but it takes time. But it's also one of the collaborative approach, right?
Okay.
Yeah. But then where is your role? Because the thing is, how would you facilitate a resolution, right? If they're going to continue to debate, they will continue to debate for rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
But you should put them in a discussion and resolve it. That's where you add value, right? But why I
Especially,
said that I do not like option A entirely is there is a word called compromise. They
yeah.
said they said compromise is actually lose-lose scenario that everyone loses, nobody will be happy forever. Because I would rather collaborate to reach to consensus, or I would rather collaborate to reach to win-win situation. So win-win is not compromise. Win-win is collaborate and find a win-win solution. Okay. This is
Mm.
lose-lose preposition that I lose something, you lose something. In the end, both are unhappy.
But,
But just different approach. I will collaborate, but I will try to find a win-win solution rather than a lose-lose solution. Got my point?
yes, that means that compromise is really
Yeah, this collaboration is like, okay, I heard you. Okay, I heard you. Are you willing to lose a bit? Are you willing to lose a bit? Okay, compromise, achieve. But I would solve the problem. Okay, let's sit, let's collaborate, let's find out a win-win solution. So you also win, he also wins.
But say in that answer, they already discussed the advantages and the disadvantages. Then maybe the person A had more disadvantages than person B, so they can compromise to take person B since they have more advantages.
yeah. That is. I think this point we really need to discuss because from this statement compromise, it is as if coming to that point of compromise, the project manager is taking a decision now that is not between either A and B. And now, if the question, your decision is not between either A and B, there is still an issue in the team. So to me, I think now that D will be the best, because with D, at least a project manager will have a backup that this is actually what the owner wants. So it is wiser we use B, because B point of view is aligning with the project owner or with the product owner. I think B, I don't know, it's as if D will be the best now, just because of that word compromise. I don't know if it is making.
The thing is, it's like you came to you came you put yourself outside, and you didn't try to make your hands dirty, right? You just put it in somebody else place plate, right? You just escalated it, right? So you were there to be there for your team, to resolve their impediments, to resolve their issues, show your leadership skills. But instead, you just became a coordinator. Issue, take this, please solve this. You got my point. In the fourth option, you just escalated it, right? People were shouting and you started shouting, yeah, there is a fire, there is a fire, right? But my option is A, because we need to sit, we need to talk, we need to hear both parties, and then we need to resolve the conflict by compromising is one of the options. We can always find a win-win scenario and we can always find lose-lose scenario. But my only worry about is that since we do not have better word here, so we have to go with option A because it's better than all the three options, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because collaboration will achieve more fulfilling answer for each party than compromise. That's my take on this. But compromise is imperative. Some situations we have no other option to compromise. All right, good. Let's see the last two questions. We'll solve 10 questions today. Okay, let's see last two questions. As a project manager of an agile, you are faced with critical decision regarding the allocation of resources for an upcoming sprint. How would you approach the decision-making process while considering principles of agile leadership? So you are starting a new sprint and you need to allocate resources for the new sprint. And uh, let's see option D, delegate the decision making to the Scrum Master. So, okay, if you push some items to him or he pushes some items to you, then what is the agility? There is no leadership. So I would say no, don't delegate. This would not be an option. C, delay the decision until the next sprint planning meeting to gather more information. Why? We have a sprint that need to start, and why we delay assigning the resources for the sprint, right? So C is also gone. Let's say B, make the decision independently based on your own experience. The thing is, I am the PM and I am not going to do all these activities myself. Like people will do. The people who do the job, they are in better position to estimate the work. So if I am going to tell that how much, who need to do what, then it is not agility, right? I need consensus. I need to understand, take opinion. I might not know the people and their skills. I need to take consultative approach, right? What do you think, guys?
So the A will be the answer.
Yeah.
Too much of A. Too much of A.
Yeah.
That will not be what will be there on the final day.
That in the original exam, the options will always be flipped, you know. They
Alternating.
will not have A. So don't program your brain to see A as the answer in your real exam always. All good? Consult the team. Okay. Now, this looks same question. Okay, let's see 10th question, which is actually 11th in the numbering. Okay. A key stakeholder expresses dissatisfaction with the progress of the project during a review meeting. How would you address their concern while maintaining transparency and managing their expectations effectively? I would go with the D, request additional resources from the stakeholder to accelerate the project delivery and meet expectations. Now, the problem is that you are here for sprint review. You are going to show the work that has been done in the last 14 days. And the stakeholder is unhappy with the work you have done. Now, how would you address their concern? Right? Now, should you ask them to give you more resources to accelerate the project delivery and meet their expectation, which might not help you, right? At this particular point, you are just giving excuse. C is ignore the stakeholder feedback to avoid conflict and focus on the project execution.
A again.
You cannot do that. You cannot ignore stakeholder feedback as well. True?
True.
Now, B, provide excuse and shift the blame into the external factors beyond your control. This is
Not correct.
now the
Correct.
option is A, acknowledge the stakeholder concern and commit to resolve any issue promptly. Is your attitude. You should be your attitude.
Mm.
All good, guys? You got an
So,
idea about what's coming in the next in your preparation towards PMP exam?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
The topics were understandable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we should always be looking forward Sunday as question and answers day. Okay, and
Okay.
rest we will be continuing like we are doing. Okay.
This would be.
So we have a class tomorrow also.
Monday we have a class. Yes, Monday and Wednesday. That's what we agreed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All good, guys. See you tomorrow.